Hey, first, I have a lot to actually discuss on this gunplay matter. I have a ton. You guys are ridiculous. I just want to say this. And what I mean by that is I never, and this is not me hating on gunplay. This is just me just saying the thing. I never want to hear gunplay talk about a snitch. I never want to hear a dude that's taping somebody else's conversation to play for somebody. Anyone. No. Other than for your own memory. Say that, they're against snitching. I'm just saying, it's the same energy. With that being said, um, first, shout out to Darkwing. Darkwing pulled up on us yesterday. I was gonna actually go live. I was thinking about it. Um, Shout out to Darkwing and he took his family out. They was everybody knows I live out here in Brooklyn, Coney Island. So shout out to Darkwing. I would have went live, but the wind was so bad. I know y'all wasn't gonna be able to hear me because I broke my mic by accident. I know y'all wasn't gonna be able to hear me because the wind was so bad. Yo, I'm gonna say this much. So apparently, it looked like the freaking 1920s old photos outside. When they show, you see pictures from like the 1920s and shit, and it got like that grainy black and white reddish tint to it. That's how it looked on the beach, fam. Sand was everywhere. I'm like, and then I forgot that apparently the beach isn't always like this, and so I was standing there for a little while, like, is this normal? So shout out to that shit and shout out to homegirl. So I walked past some lady, and so the whole time I'm walking, I'm in my own head, right? Gotta go out there. I'm going to meet Darkwing or whatever, right? So I'm in my own head, right? So boom. The Warrens. I'm in my own head, right? So shout out the homegirl that said hi to me, and I just walked right past her. I think you was like with your moms, I guess, or your grandmoms. I don't know who that was. You shout out to you. With that being said, uh I just want to make sure I don't have nothing else that I want to address, for jokes, obviously, and shit like that. Before we get to the actual, because these dudes, woo! Let's get to it. All right, so I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I want there to be zero misunderstanding. Dude's name is Gunplay, and he's recording conversations. Now, I'm not hating on him. I just want to explain something. So, did y'all see when DJ Envy responded back to the conversation, to the situation? DJ Envy responded back. I believe it must have been like this morning or some shit. DJ Envy responded back. So, apparently, they was on the phone for 10 more minutes. After this, I just want to say all of this before we get to how I feel about this. They was apparently on the phone for 10 more minutes after the part that Gunplay made public, where they was actually talking cordially to each other and coming to an understanding. I'm going to say this, and I say this quite frankly, and it's a known. A lot of people know this. Sometimes people are just looking to beef with you. You're not in the wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, fam. The situation didn't work out the way they wanted the situation to work out, so now they mad at you. I don't know who needs to hear that this morning. I don't know who needs to hear that this morning. Just so we could be clear. The situation didn't work out. You didn't do anything wrong. They're just mad at you. You understand? You didn't do anything wrong. So let me tell you what happened while Gunplay is pissed off first. Once again, DJ Envy should have had nothing going on with Rick Ross. He got involved with Rick Ross. He beefing with Rick Ross. So apparently on the show where DJ Envy went on the show and he wore the CO outfit, the police outfit, for whatever the reason was. He wore the police outfit on the show that he wore the police outfit. So he's talking and he says basically that Gunplay had put up a GoFundMe at some point for whatever the reason was. And why didn't Rick Ross help him? Because Rick Ross is always talking about he's a boss. Why didn't he help his friend? Now, stop. I just want to mention something else real quick. One of the most boss things I've ever heard anyone say when talking about wealth was when Jay-Z said that how many people he made millionaires. When Jay-Z said that, I said, you know what? That's some real bullshit. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how you're using your resources in order to help the people around you and your friends live easier, more comfortable lives. So when Jay-Z said, yo, look at all of the millionaires that he made, that meant something. That was something. So if you take that same type of logic and you hear, yo, your man had to start a GoFundMe and this is your friend and you're supposed to be a boss, and you're doing all of these boss moves, how can you say you're a boss and your friend had to go start a GoFundMe? Now, Gunplay is pissed off. Why? That GoFundMe was a thing for his daughter. His daughter, and this is another reason why I'm trying to tell you these dudes is backwards. Listen, shout out to the Art of D Glass. This is Good Morning BBN. Shout out to the Art of D Glass. This is Good Morning BBN Fan Frost Blessings. Check this out. Listen, pay attention. I just need for you to understand this. When this dude talks about how many millionaires he made, and then DJ Envy talks about, yo, look, check this out. Your people, the people that you consider to call your friends, had to start a GoFundMe. He had to start a GoFundMe because something was going on with his daughter and he needed some money, right? Now, I just want to say two things. One, I understand why he was upset that that was mentioned in that light. If you're going to talk about my GoFundMe, talk about it in a positive manner. Don't use it to attack us. Because apparently, his wife felt attacked. Gunplay. Gunplay's wife felt attacked. And she obviously came to him. And when your wife that you love come to you with an issue, you got to go address the nigga. And that's just what it is. That's literally part of being a husband. If your wife comes to you with a real issue, not no bullshit, not some shit where you're like, look, calm down, babe. We got this is too much. She come to you with some real shit, you gotta go address it. So I just want to be clear on this. The thing he's accusing DJ Envy of, DJ Envy did not do. DJ Envy didn't mention his daughter. DJ Envy did not mention his wife. DJ Envy also didn't respect his daughter nor his wife. What DJ Envy did was mention that Rick Ross didn't help his friend that needed help. Now, I just want to say something because Gunplay actually made Rick Ross look worse in my eyes. Not saying that Rick Ross looked bad, but I mean, this particular part of the interaction between Envy and Rick Ross, I believe Envy wins. Gunplay is fine now. I think Gunplay is on some show somewhere. I don't know. I don't watch those reality shits. So I want to mention another thing real quick, and I want to get this out of the way, and this deals with the law. So DJ Envy, when speaking about his conversation being recorded from Gunplay, what he says is that recording somebody's conversation is illegal. I want to be clear about this because that's not entirely true. Okay, so different states have different laws that apply to this specific event. Now, depending on what state you live in is depending on what state you live in. If you are the recorder, right, is dependent on I'll just even make it easier. This is an easier way to say it. In New York, only one party needs to know. As long as one party knows that the conversation is being recorded in New York, it's perfectly fine. So that means the only person that cannot record a conversation between two people is somebody who's not in the conversation. If you're in the conversation, you can record a conversation in New York City. It's only one party needs to know. Now, in other states, both parties need to know. I don't know specifically what state Gunplay is in, because I don't even know what show he's on. I don't watch those reality things. I don't get it. But, whatever. No, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying I don't get it. Maybe if I was watching it with somebody that enjoyed it, I could learn to enjoy it. Makes sense? Like sometimes that's how you got to learn to appreciate shit. Watch it through somebody else's eyes. In any regard. Now, the state Gunplay might be in, he probably can't record conversations. Envy's in New York. His conversation could be recorded as long as one of the parties on the phone knows. So I just wanted to explain that real quick because DJ Envy said that and then the clip cut for me. So I don't know if he explained it. So he was just trying to say that Gunplay might have actually broken the law. And then apparently, like dudes usually do when they break laws nowadays, snitched on themselves. So shout out to that shit. I don't know what to tell you. In any regard, there's a couple of more things I want to mention about this real quick. So Gunplay, his name is all the way Gunplay. I'm going to say this real quick, and I want to be clear on this, right? I say this real quick, and I want to be clear on this. I want to say this exactly real quick. Just be clear. Listen, pay attention. Pay attention. These dudes call themselves all of the gangster in the world. And I'm not saying they're not gangster. I want to be clear on this. They call themselves all the gangsters in the world. They talk about following all of these politics. They talk about we doing this, we doing that, because this is how the streets is handled. They do a lot of this, right? And then, at the same time, they seem to get in their feelings. And then, they go try to do something, or they do something extremely close, if not the thing that they condemn others for. Look, I'm fine with a dude saying he a street nigga. You a street nigga, you a street nigga, fam. It is what it is. There's a lot of good street niggas out there. There's a lot of niggas out there that street niggas and they not good niggas. There's a lot of niggas that ain't street niggas and they not good niggas. Alright? Just because you somebody from the street, that don't mean you're a bad person. At all, by the way. So, I say that to say this. We can't be hypocrites, man. You can't go by a name like Gunplay. You can't have a conversation with a dude talking about how you know I'll smack him. You know I'll smack you, right? You can't do all of that. And then release the audio of the conversation. And more than anything else, that was a three-way call between you and Charlemagne the God at Envy. So not only that, you brought Charlemagne into the shit. And all he was trying to do was do some good. So that added to the fact that there was a 10-minute longer conversation where y'all got everything good together and y'all all agreed and everything was okay and everybody left on a good note that you didn't play. You cut the conversation at where you stopped talking shit, but all of that other part where y'all wasn't talking shit no more, where y'all was cool, you just cut that. This is the type of time these gangsters is on nowadays. I'm not trying to drag nobody. I'm just saying what it is because I just want to know. I'm a regular civilian, fam. Is what these gangsters is on nowadays? Is this the new gangster shit? Somebody let me know. I want to know. Put me on the game. Because nowadays it seems like, and this is not me being funny, this is me saying some shit from a real standpoint. Nowadays it seems like niggas is walking around so busy hoping that nobody start anything with them. So what they doing is they trying to use every opportunity to take things overboard that they can find. Because this was not necessary in my mind. Now, why did Gunplay release the audio? And this is the funniest part. This is the part I find the most hilarious. And this is why I say you didn't do anything wrong. The situation didn't work out. I don't think anybody got disrespected at all, Midnight Madness. I don't think he disrespected his own family at all. How? Gunplay had a situation that happened with his daughter. He had a GoFundMe up, so it was a public thing. Just maybe everybody didn't know about it, but some people know about it, and he probably needed for people to know about it. The problem is, why the hell were you how do you say, ashamed of putting up a GoFundMe? You needed help. You needed help. Why we don't be ashamed of asking for help when you needed help. Why are we shaming people that's saying that they needed help? I don't understand this new thing that we do. And then when a person goes to do something extreme because they didn't want to ask for help, and they go do something extreme, people say they should have asked for help. So I don't see nothing wrong with him doing the GoFundMe. I don't see nothing wrong with him doing the GoFundMe. I see zero things wrong. Just to be clear to you, I think that it's a shame that he asked the Lord for help. I'm assuming that's what he uses GoFundMe for now, and now he's embarrassed of it apparently. So that means that there's people that actually assisted you. I think that you're not taking their assistance into appreciation. But what the fuck do I can't see that message. View message. Somebody took care of it, right? Another admin. Maybe another admin took care of it. I don't know. Maybe the message came through. Anyway, so yeah. So basically, and this is just my opinion, I could be 100% wrong. Do not get this confused. But you know who's the most dangerous dude in the street? The guy that's running around committing murders and working for the police. He's the most dangerous. So I just personally think, since a lot of the behavior that is supposed to be solid behavior isn't necessarily being uh, used, you know, I think that we should just decide that what we're going to start doing is realizing that a lot of these street rules we shouldn't even be living by. To start living by some of the rules that it say to live by in the Bible. I think by keeping us so closely tied to these street regulations, and then look, the people that people look up to be street niggas. Look what they doing, fam. And I bet you're gonna go talk to a ton of people that's gonna agree that he did nothing wrong. And these are gonna be other niggas that's gonna supposed to be street niggas. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna be clear about this. Maybe I'm taking this a little personal. So I just know how it feels to So I'll tell you a situation real quick. And this is not me trying to start shit with nobody. I'm not naming no names. If somebody come in and say, you talking about me, it's because you just clout chasing. Copy. That's it. I was talking about somebody that, and I didn't even say their name. And now I got them in my chat allegedly every day, just clout chasing, just clout chasing, just every clout chasing everything I do. That's how you. That's I'm gonna say something real quick. That's how you know that it's not you. You understand? Like if a person address a thing, this is the I think one of the much better ways to understand who's telling the truth. if, if a person address a thing when it's going on, like a thing is happening, so at that point they're addressing it. It's not that thing, but it's something tantamount to that, and they're addressing it right then. That's one thing, right? For a person to constantly talk about something every single day over and over and over and over and over and over again, they're trying to create a narrative. That means that they're trying to convince you. And if they need to convince you of something, 9 times out of 10, it's not true. So just think about that when you see somebody that always comes up to you and always talking to you about anything, whether it's something positive or whether it's negative. They're trying to convince you of something. Remember, the Most High is never going to try to convince you of anything. He's going to put down some breadcrumbs. If you follow him, you follow him. If you don't, you don't. He's not going to try to convince you of nothing. You do know that that's part of the understanding of what happened in the Garden of Eden. The Most High didn't try to convince them to not eat the apple. He just told them don't eat the apple. That's not something you're supposed to be doing. The snake came along and convinced them to eat the apple. So pay attention to the people that's constantly telling you something to convince you of it. Unless it comes up in topic of conversation. Just be mindful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're always lying. I'm not saying that they're always exaggerating. I'm saying be mindful. No. What the fuck? Okay, so that's not my real brother. That's not my real brother. That's just somebody using a fake account and making his name a million times. That's definitely 100% not my real brother. I don't even think he's stupid enough to try to tell that lie. Because that's easily researchable. Like, I don't think he's stupid enough to try to tell easily. He's not stupid. He's an evil person, but he's not stupid. He's really smart. All of my brothers are really intelligent. All of us. He's really smart. He's not that stupid to tell that stupid ass lie that's so easily researchable. Sheesh. Anyway, so that means that he sent you, but you don't have immediate access to him. What time is it? 9:41. 9. Usually at his jobs, they get there at about, they open at, the rush happens at, so he's not available right now. You got to wait probably every 5 or 10 minutes every time you text him. Anyway, oh man. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Get back to what we're talking about. So, just so we could be clear, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding about this, about the DJ Envy situation. I don't think DJ Envy should have minded Rick Ross's business. He was 100% wrong for that. But he didn't do anything wrong in the Gunplay situation. He did 0 things wrong. This is Gunplay clout chasing. This is how niggas do. They wait for you to say their name or even almost mention you. Then now all of a sudden they talking about you every day. Then now all of a sudden they know everything about you. Then now all of a sudden they're going to expose this. They're going to expose that. You didn't even say nothing worthy of them even getting upset. But now, not only are they upset, but they want you dead. They're going to ruin your life. They want you to throw out all types of weirdo-ass apologies. You didn't even do anything wrong for him. All he said was that Gunplay had a GoFundMe, which is a fact. He didn't say what the GoFundMe was for. He didn't even say, as far as I know, he didn't say what the GoFundMe was for. They played the clip. He didn't say what it was for. Shout out to Darkwing Salute. He never mentioned the family of Gunplay. He never mentioned the wife. He never mentioned the daughter. He did zero of these things. He didn't do anything wrong. For Gunplay to get him on the phone, start talking crazy to him, and he said, yo, you know I slapped the shit out of you, right? And he said, yeah, then we be fighting then. Like, what the fuck is he supposed to say? Also, just so we can be clear, he at no point in that telephone conversation, in my opinion, was DJ Envy punked. It looked 100% and sounded 100% like, my dude, I never disrespected your family. You really got this wrong. I don't have no problem with you. I just mentioned your name, man. About a situation that's a real thing. That people could just go and look it up on the internet. You're upset about some shit niggas could Google. And I didn't even speak negatively about it. I just mentioned that it happened. But if y'all feel disrespected, my apologies, because I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Not I feel bad. I'm sorry for the way you feel. That's not an apology. He literally said, if I hurt your wife's feelings or whatever, however that go, I apologize. I didn't mean to, cause your family harm. He said shit like that. And no part of that conversation was he punked. To be honest with you, it made it look more to me like Gunplay reverse punked himself. Because you said something to him where the niggas start quaking in his boots. And he did. He just said, all right, whatever, nigga. I guess that's what we doing. That's what he said. So, that part. So that's why you got to be mindful. People just wait for you to mention their name so they could just argue with you. He didn't say nothing wrong. He said zero things wrong. I think this was a lack of integrity on Gunplay's part. Because people that lack integrity, they are always trying to clout chase. They always wishing for somebody to say their name so they could just come up out of nowhere and pretend like they did them wrong. %100 of the time, that's how these niggas do. If they even think you mention their name, now they hard. I'm gonna say something real quick. So there's a dude that used to work here. That's how I'm gonna say it. There's a dude that used to work here. And yes, I actually was paying him. There was a dude that used to work here. So one time, somebody with a similar name of his, somebody said something about a dude with a similar name as his. He called me up happy as hell. Because now he could go argue with this nigga to try to build his name. He sends me the clip. I'm like, nigga, this guy's not talking about you. I go show him who the guy's really talking about. This dude is upset. Why? Because he was hoping that a person said his name so he could go argue with him. That's how these new niggas is. And this nigga's supposedly a super gang nigga. That's how these new niggas is. You get it? So when you see me not really wanting to really deal with people, it's 100%. Not 100%. That's not even a possibility, but it's a very, very high percentage that it just, I run into a lot of niggas that look like the super toughest guys in the world, but then they do some weirdo shit and fuck the bag up. And then now it's your fault. It's your fault after they fuck the bag up. You just become, and this is just me speaking from my perspective, you just become a little apprehensive. Really, I've become really apprehensive about dealing with people, especially in lines of business. Um, I've had people fuck their own money, not knowing, because I don't tell them the whole plan. Because I can't tell you the whole plan. Because then you're gonna go do it with somebody else. You don't really fuck with me anyway. You feel me? So they get mad because I tell them the part of the plan that they were part of. But that's what I'm supposed to do. So then I tell the other people the part of the plan that they were part of. And then these rat bastards think I'm going to trying to, oh, he's gonna stop working with us over here. He's gonna go work with those people over there. He gonna leave us. So the stupid ass niggas go fucking sabotage these guys, and we need them. So niggas gonna nag, fam. Niggas gonna nag. I don't know what to tell you. So when you see me be apprehensive getting into business or whatever with somebody, like, there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will fuck the bag up for no reason. These dudes wanted to shoot a freaking I don't even want to tell you. Anyway, let's get back to it. So the fact that this dude, in my opinion, the fact, shout out to everybody. I'm not angry at nobody, by the way. I just want to be clear about this. I'm not angry at nobody. I'm disappointed, but I'm not angry at nobody, and I wish everybody the best. I don't have no ill will. I'm not over here wishing bad on nobody. I wish everybody the best. The only way that we can really move on is with success, and I want the people that got whatever issues they have to also move on with their lives and go do stuff that they need to go do in their lives. So I'm wishing them success. The only way we can move on is with success. So I'm wishing everyone success. I just don't want it to be at my expense. But I'm wishing everyone success. I want you to go win. I'm not you. Okay? Not you. I want you to go win. I don't feel normal when I'm thinking negative thoughts. So I really generally don't ever really want people to lose. I want you to win, man. The real battle is against Satan, fam. It's not against you. It's not against me. The real battle is against Satan. If you start fighting the fight God wants you to fight, if you start doing the things that God wants you to do, then even if you don't become a millionaire, you're going to be winning in life. Even if you don't become that NBA basketball player, you're going to be winning in life. God put something in all of our hearts that will make us content, that we don't need to have millions of dollars. If we go do the thing that God put in our heart, it will make us content. We don't need to be millionaires. We don't need to be billionaires. We don't need to own yachts. All we have to do is do the thing that God put in our heart. Go do that. Some people are just miserable because they spending too much time trying to hurt other people and not enough time trying to love themselves. Other people are miserable because they just in situations that they have no control over and they're not used to it, i.e. me. So go out there and go do something positive in the world. There's people that depend on you. There's people that can't win until you win. Don't forget that part. There's literally people that can't win until you win. I'll give you a great example. Imagine if BBN just for whatever reason takes off like a motherfucker for no reason. You want to know what's one of the first things that's going to happen? Every single last one of y'all that's ever been a part of this channel, you know how y'all subs is going to go up? Every last person that's ever been a part of this channel, you know how your subs is going to go up? On whatever kind of fucking pages y'all got, your subs is going to go up like crazy. And I'm not talking about the people that make the hate videos about me. I don't know what's going to happen with them. Their channels, other things might happen. I'm talking about the people that just have worked with me before that I reposted and I've been tagging in YouTube and shit like that. And it's been like going on or happened like over long periods of time. This shit is going to explode. Your visibility on YouTube is going to improve because a lot of y'all algorithm is damn near connected to mine. And that's why when my channel stop doing crazy numbers, your channel's numbers won't really go reach the 100,000, the 50,000, the 20,000, the 30,000. Because your algorithm is so closely attached to mine, even after all of this time. So that's why I keep trying to explain. People be trying to hurt people and wish bad on people. And sometimes you might need that person to win. It might be in your best interest. And yes, our algorithms get attached to other people's algorithms like a motherfucker. If you don't, at least that's my interpretation of the way YouTube has been being used. Maybe it's changed, I don't know, but that's my interpretation. They tell you, there's a fucking thing for everybody that actually goes to use their YouTube studio. There's a thing in the YouTube studio, and they literally let you know some of the platforms that your algorithm is attached to. So, shout out to Ganju. We got Ganju Roach up in here. Salute. They literally let you know some of the jump off your algorithm is attached to. That's a fact. Don't let nobody lie to you. That's a fact. It's in YouTube Studio, man. If you know where to look, it shows you right there. I think they show you like 5, 6 names or whatever channels. So for the people that say I don't know what I'm talking about, anyway, it's not just those 5 or 6. It's like they show you a list. They just show you the ones that got like the most subs first, and that's you like tightly connected with shit like that. Anyway, in any regard, I think a lot of these dudes in social media in general I don't think you could do social media nowadays and then claim to be a street dude. I think that there's just too many things that we do inside of social media that you're not supposed to do if you really live in the street life. That's just what I'm saying. Like one, I'm gonna give an example. Do y'all remember when nobody would put their do you remember when the real street niggas would never put their face on Instagram? Anybody else remember that? The real street niggas would never put their face on Instagram or YouTube or nothing like that. They always had their face blocked out. Anybody else remember that, or is that just me? They never had their face like on Twitter, Instagram, none of that shit. Now all of a sudden they don't care. They got bare face to everywhere, fam. Maybe if dude would have had his face covered up when AR Rab was talking about how he the big shooter in the neighborhood, maybe he wouldn't have got life. So that thing happened. So I just don't think. I think that you gotta admit that you are a recovering street dude or something along those lines. At least that'll help keep people from getting themselves killed because this situation could also go crazy. Shout out to Charlemagne, by the way, for getting those 2 men in contact in conversation. Shout out to Charlemagne. But this shit could very easily go left. This shit could have very easily have been Gunplay still at this point. See him and don't feel right about it. And then a nigga got to get slapped up. But he did what his wife asked him to do. So he should have he should have no issue after this. Gunplay did exactly what his wife asked him to do. He addressed the issue. The man gave an apology. Now, you want a public apology. That don't make sense to me because he never mentioned your wife's name. You shouldn't even need a public apology. He never mentioned your wife's name, and he didn't mention your daughter. He literally mentioned that you what? Asked for help. You needed assistance because your big homie decided that he wasn't gonna help you out. The big boss, Ross, and not help you out by giving you money. Ross could have just employed you at a thing. Oh, you need some bread? Come down here and do some shows. Tell me where the lie at. You need some bread? Come up in the studio with us. Tell me where the lie at. You need some bread? We doing this. Tell me where the lie at. So these are things that Gunplay, that Rick Ross could have did. He didn't do none of these things. This dude had to ask for a GoFundMe. See, that's what I be talking about. You don't have to give a nigga a cent. If you know what a nigga do for a living, you don't got to give a nigga a cent. You could just give him business. I do YouTube. I do promotion. You don't never have to pull up in here not one time and give me a cent. You could literally just say, yo, I fuck with his platform. I like the BBN. I like Jack Frost. I want to donate, but let me get something in return. I'll freaking buy some promotion on his Instagram. I'll buy some promotion on his YouTube. I'm part of the community. That's not giving me anything. That's taking advantage of a resource. That's literally how this whole business works. Just so we could be clear. Niggas be like, you be saying, yo, just say a regular business thing, and people be like, yo, you begging. It's regular business. He didn't have to give Gunplay a cent, fam. He could have just mutual exchange. Yes, the few. Nigga don't gotta give a nigga nothing. Yo, maybe you like, yo, look, I want to see more of this person on your page. You don't even have nothing to promote yourself. You just want me to put more Beyonce up. Yo, Jack Frost, here's $10. Post more Beyonce on Instagram. Bang, I got you. Here, Jack Frost, here's $10. Post more Jay-Z on Instagram. Boom, I got you. You helping me curate the page. You'll be actively becoming a part of what we're doing over here and supporting the platform. There's literally nothing wrong with that. That's literally a business model. Some of these people that I post, you think they contacted me, or do you think their manager contacted me? You think somebody that likes what they're doing contacted me, or you think they contacted me? Sometimes they do. But you get what I'm saying in any regard. So Envy didn't do anything wrong. I'll be going off on tangents, I know it. But Envy didn't do anything wrong. All Envy said was that he asked for help at some point or another. And I want to be clear about something. We have to always be mindful of how we respond after somebody gives us assistance. You have to be mindful. If somebody helped you, how you respond when you're communicating about the help. And the reason why I say that is this. Him getting upset that Envy mentioned his GoFundMe is kind of ungrateful. Did his GoFundMe work? If he got any bucks on that GoFundMe that he was able to put towards the thing that he needed, then he has to appreciate the money. So therefore, he has to appreciate the GoFundMe. So therefore, you're not allowed to be ashamed of it, fam. That's just the way that I feel. You're not allowed to be ashamed of when people give you help. think that's disrespecting the assistance you receive. I think that you should be proud that God allowed for you, or put you, got you, allow for somebody else to receive a blessing by blessing you. Because by blessing you, those people that bless you then receive blessings. So you should be proud to be a part of the food chain, the blessing chain. You should be proud. You allow somebody to do a good deed and magnify the Lord's name. People look at needing assistance the wrong way. We've been taught to look at it the wrong way. You understand? Anyway, and just the proof of that is, what did Jesus say that he came to do? To be a servant. That's the highest thing that you could be. A servant. Jesus was cleaning, washing people's feet and whatnot. And they're living in the desert, apparently, and everybody wears sandals. And I don't think socks was a thing. So be mindful of when people try to tell you not to. Because God will put people in your way for you to give them assistance. You understand? Anyway, in any regard, where we were at, we almost up to that. We passed the 36-minute mark. We're almost up to the hour mark. Y'all want to go for a walk? You know what? If we get, wait, I don't think we could go for a walk. Hold on. No, we can't. My jump off don't got enough power in it. My extra battery. So we can't go for a walk anymore. Let's not go for a walk. Extra battery don't got enough power in it. It's like this phone right there is almost dead. Also, the next battery got like a bar. It should flash into it. Dude, you take me outside, but I can't count the first 15 minutes. So like I got you. What else y'all want to discuss? Just so we could be clear. What else y'all want to discuss? I was gonna go live yesterday, so I just want to throw this out there so y'all know. So I was gonna go live yesterday, so I go outside. I know that I'm supposed to be meeting up with Darkwing yesterday, so I was thinking about shooting hoops, but I wasn't sure. So I go outside. I was thinking I was gonna go set up the camera. So I go outside. If nobody's outside, I'm gonna set up the camera. If anybody's outside, I wasn't gonna set up the camera. So I go outside and I see a couple of people outside shooting. So I decided not to set the camera up, which was the right thing to do. Because if I would have set the camera up, I don't think I would have been prepared for when I would have been ready for when Darkroom came. I was already running late. So it was literally the right thing to do. But yeah. Because he was going to actually play basketball at one point, and then it was decided against it. That's the point which I'm trying to make. So, anyway, shout out to DJ Envy, shout out to Charlemagne the God, shout out to Gunplay apparently, and shout out to Rickety Rick Ross. I think DJ Envy has learned you don't get into other people's business. Stay out of other people's business. I think DJ Envy has learned that. But and once again, he's fortunate because his lesson came quickly. So you know, God's got that out the way, so he don't got to worry about that. I think people should be more worried when they do some evil and they've been getting away with it for a real long time. I think you should be concerned about that. The way that I see it is, you know, God loves his children, and the children he loves, he disciplines as quickly as possible. So you should be concerned if you're out there doing evil in the world and God is not coming to give somebody recompense for your actions. So I'm just telling you, you could you should be concerned. I ain't gonna lie. Whenever I sit there and I hear somebody like talking crazy and they talk about how they be getting away with a whole bunch of shit, I be just sitting there like, well, you going to hell. But because you're never gonna make amends, you ain't learned the lesson. You just gonna keep doing the evil. Fuck it. I absolutely don't be judging people that hard. I'm making a joke. I don't be judging people that hard. I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke. I make a lot of jokes that are just jokes, but I don't want anybody to like. That just looks like one that's gonna 100% be taken out of context. I was making a joke. I would make more jokes apparently, but so many of them get taken out of context that I just stopped making as many jokes. To be honest with you, I was hanging out with Darkwing. I was actually able to tell jokes to another person. That shit was lit. Yeah, I would tell more jokes here, but I just, so many of my jokes have been taken out of context and have affected my regular real life. So I just don't really be wanting to tell no jokes and shit. Like, yeah. I wanted to go outside though with the phone. I've been trying to get the phone charged all morning. What y'all want to talk about? Is there anything y'all want to discuss? This is 100% one of these days that I'm not going to hold you. Is there anything that y'all want to discuss? I basically spoke on everything I wanted to speak on the DJ Envy situation. Is there any other topic you want to discuss? I got sports up in there. Miami Heat is going to the NBA Finals. They're going to be going against the Denver Nuggets. The Miami Heat is in the NBA Finals. They're going to be going against the Denver Nuggets. I wanted the Heat to go to the finals just so we could be clear. A couple of different reasons. One, I'm just from New York. I don't really feel comfortable voting for them. I don't really feel comfortable rooting for any Boston area team just in general. I'm from the Bronx on top of that. I just don't feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really want to root for Boston. I don't want to root for Miami neither, but I really don't want to root for Boston. So Miami is in the finals. Also, I am a big Jimmy Butler fan. I've always liked Jimmy Butler ever since he's been. He used to play, for everybody that forget, he used to play with D Rose in Chicago. So I was actually a fan of Jimmy Butler's back then. I always thought he was a dope player. I wish the Knicks could get him. A player that plays hard, plays defense, and can score. That's superstar status. It just depends on if he has a player in front of him that got to get the ball first. I think that it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's interesting for a myriad of different reasons. But one of the main reasons why I think it's pretty interesting is the MVP seems to rarely ever actually win the chip anymore. It's rare. I remember one year Michael Jordan won the MVP. I think he won the Finals MVP. I think he won the Finals. Like he got Defensive Player of the Year. I think he was on the first defensive team. Like it was crazy. Like Michael Jordan got damn near every. Like there was a bananas year, fam. That's why I keep saying for the people that's like Michael Jordan could only score. Who said that stupid shit? I heard somebody say that stupid shit. It's like Michael Jordan. No, fam. He was doing everything, fam. It's just that his scoring was above and beyond as far as what anybody else was doing. But he was doing everything. So they're in the finals. I think it's gonna be interesting because people was trying to say the Joker should have won. Joker should have won again this year. I think he already won like 3 years in a row, and I just didn't think that. I didn't even think he should have won 3 years in a row. But that's neither here nor there. So I think it's gonna be interesting to have a player that was consistently winning the MVP trophy to then now get into a finals the first year that he didn't seem to win the MVP trophy in quite some time. So I think that's going to be interesting. Also, they have two distinct. I want to see the what's the dude name? The Murray matchup. I want to see how Murray match because you already know that Jimmy Butler's going to be on Murray. I want to see how the Jimmy Butler Murray matchup, the Butler Murray matchup go. That's going to be interesting. I want to see what they're going to do with Joker. I was about to call him Yoka. I want to see what they're going to do with Yoka. I think that's interesting. Also, you know, Pat Riley has been a part of like 24.7% of all NBA finals, either as a player, a coach, or in the freaking as management. You know that, right? Pat Riley has been a part of almost 3/4 of all NBA finals, man. That's crazy. He's living in excellence, apparently. So that part. What else we talking about? There's something else I wanted to discuss this morning that I wanted to discuss more intimately than I just spoke on that. I'm trying to remember. I should have wrote it down. I gotta start making a list so I could just shoot through everything that we're gonna discuss. Sometimes I forget shit. Less than you would think I will forget shit, by the way. But sometimes I forget shit. And then the show go off and I'll be like, oh, dang, I forgot to mention that shit. Like, oh, man, that thing, I meant to mention it. I did not. Something I was trying to mention. Coincidentally, I only saw one person in the bikini yesterday, and they weren't even on the beach. So, shout out to that. The bikini looked good, too. Shout out to that. I only saw one person in a bikini yesterday, and they weren't even on the beach, man. I wasn't looking at anybody too tough. So there could have been like a ton of people with bikinis on. Just so we can be clear. I'm not saying nobody had bikinis on. Generally, I try not to look at people because I feel like every time I even look at somebody for a split second, they think I was standing there staring at them. So generally speaking, I try not to look at people. Does it seem like even if I just look at somebody for a split second, they think I was staring? So I'd be like, what the fuck, man? Like, I was not. I promise you. Oh, man. So generally when I'm walking down the street, I'm really not like, so if you see me and it looks like I'm not really looking, that's why. People crazy. People always think you're staring at them. I'm not. I'm not even. I wasn't even looking at you. It's just my head was in that direction. Like my head got a point. I don't know how not to have my face pointing in the direction, man. You was just in over there. That's it. You just in the direction that my face was pointing. There's nothing I can do about that. And I look down a lot. Apparently, I got to get out of that shit. I look down a lot. Shit. I think I think I'm gonna tell you what I think it is though. I think like that's like my thinking face. So usually, like when I'm thinking, I'm looking down. I'm gonna stop looking down. People think I'm looking at my crotch or some shit. I just be looking down. Um. Also, that's bad. Also, shades can be bad for your health. Listen, everybody, listen. Shades can be bad for your health. Our eyes actually need the sunlight, not just our skin, apparently. Our eyes need the sunlight. We need the sunlight in our eyes. That's one of the reasons why I be looking down a lot. We need the sunlight for our eyes. So shades could be bad for your health. I just learned this shit. Shades could actually be bad for your health. We need our eyes to get natural sunlight, apparently. Yeah, I just learned this. I'm just sharing this information for anybody that's still in here. If you don't believe me, you don't got to believe me, fam. I'm just telling you what it is. You don't believe me, you don't got to believe me. But yeah, natural sunlight in the eyes. That's important, apparently. For your health, by the way. For your health. Your health. I mean, I think I meant to share that like 2 or 3 days ago. I forgot about it. Huh. That is a pretty good idea. Um, what else we talking about? Put it in the chat. What else we talking about? Y'all got anything y'all want to discuss this morning? Put it in the chat. Anything y'all want to discuss this morning? They got this bar right there, and I just can't see my eyes. So I'm constantly looking at the bar like, fam, I can't even see my eyes, fam. I don't know what my eyes are doing. Cause when I do the when I pin the comment, the black bar goes up on the screen. So where I'm looking from my perspective, the black bar is like always in front of my eyes. I gotta go like this in order to be able to see my eyes. So I'm busy over here, like my eyes could be looking crazy as shit, fam. I don't have the slightest idea. So that's what I be thinking about after I pin the comment. I just want to let y'all know. Sometimes that shit is distracting. Um, Anything y'all want to talk about this morning? If also, I apparently I haven't been saying this for months. Also, or I haven't been saying this consistently for months. Also, if you appreciate any aspect of the show, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, or the PayPal. I'm supposed to say that like a ton of times every show. I have not been saying that at all. Sometimes I don't be thinking the show's good enough for me to say that. To be honest with you, well, we've actually been hitting on all cylinders. Uh, this show today is pretty decent. I like the show today. Sometimes I don't think it on the show. I be like, I gave a lot of good information, but I don't think it was entertaining enough. And other times I'd be like, I think I was entertaining, but I wasn't doing enough of the good information. Sometimes I think I make I like, you gotta get it good, you know, be good in the middle of it. You gotta figure out how to do it. It's easier for me when I'm using my computer where I can block off segments easier, because that's what I do. You gotta block off segments. Any regard, um, I have a dope ass idea for a hip hop debate show. I have a dope ass fucking idea for a hip hop debate show. A dope fucking idea, like a dope idea. I'm never gonna say it out loud. I have a dope idea, like a fucking banging ass idea. Nobody's doing it. It's not a thing. It's not a thing anybody is doing. A dope idea. Dope idea. Sheesh. I've tried to make about 6 or 7 shows on the platform. So there's been about 6 or 7 times that I've worked with people and we've got past the planning stage. So I call it the planning stage when we're just talking. Nobody's made a step. We're just talking. We're seeing if it fits. That's what I call the planning stage. So I've had about probably 6 or 7 times that we went past the planning stage. One of the biggest times that I can tell you that we went past the planning stage was the woke cast. That was um, one of the biggest times that we actually went past the planning stage, and that was a good program. It was a really good program. We was coming across with good information. We was doing a mixture of having street politics and well, street politics and normal regular news and information programming and entertainment programming. I think that we were, you know, I think we had something in. We were working with something well. Just me and my co-host at that time, Corey King. I think we were working with something really well at that time. Just so we could be clear, I thought that he was a good co-host. Um, I think that our setup was well, good. That's something that if we didn't lose access to the building, where we were shooting at. That's something I would have continued to do. Um, the only reason why I stopped doing it is because we lost access to the building. That's the only reason. Um, but that's something I would have continued to do. With that being said, about maybe 6 or 7 times, including that one, we've got past the talking stage, where we're just discussing. A lot of times that people hear, yo, jack this and jack that, that's times that we didn't get past the talking stage mostly. Those are times that we spoke about something and I didn't think that, for whatever the reason is, I was going to probably be able to do my end or the other person wasn't going to be able to do their end. So, uh, 6 or 7 times we got past the talking stage. We don't always get past the talking stage. Who you partner with is important. It's not just to do the thing, it's who you partner with. So I want to partner with people who, and I'm not saying that any person that it didn't work out with wasn't a good partner. They probably just wasn't a good partner for me. You understand? So, or they probably was. Maybe I could be wrong. Just so we could be clear. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I thought something wasn't going to be possible that was. I could be wrong. So I say all that to say, I've had quite a few opportunities. I expect to have more opportunities. I just got shout out to Campbell's Printing. I was actually just dropped something. I can't see it right now. So I say all that to say this. Um, I want very badly to be a pillar of whatever the community is that I'm in. I want to be an asset, not just where I'm physically living, but even where we're virtually, the community that I'm virtually a part of, this community, any other community. I vigorously want to be a pillar of said community. So often, uh, I know that things that I do get taken the wrong way because I tend to overcorrect. I tend to overcorrect. Um, and sometimes what it seems like to me is the appropriate thing to do. To somebody else, it might look weird because I'm overcorrecting. I'm hoping uh, that two projects is the two projects. These are the only two projects I'm going to be focusing on other than promotion from now into the foreseeable future. One is going to be the West Force project situation that we have going. We're going to get that going this summer. And the second one is going to be the project where I live, where we're going to try to get these kids basketball, get some basketball going on around here, and quite possibly, hopefully, speak to. I got a. Good, put in my pocket. So I had a church that was standing on the corner, handing these pamphlets out. It's a, y'all know these pamphlets, things and such. Um, Exercise patience. You are warmly invited. It's a convention of the Jehovah's Witness. So I received this yesterday. I was walking the street. This dates June 9th, 2023. It's at the Assembly Hall of the Jehovah's Witness, 973 Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness myself, nor am I trying to tell anybody to be a Jehovah's Witness, just so we can be clear. But I'm 100% one of those people that say that if you are saying that you're in our communities in order to be an asset to the communities and not a liability, that there's just certain aspects that you need to bring. And I want to wish these people all of the prosperity. Um, and whatever this endeavor that they're branching out on as long as it helps the community. I am not a Jehovah's Witness. I am not a person who exercises religion, but I am a person who loves our community. And I am a person who want positive things to happen to our community. So just as I just mentioned to y'all these people that are Jehovah's Witnesses, I will definitely mention other people that are doing things in our community for our community to be a benefit of our community, um, independent of whatever their theological beliefs might be. And I'm not saying that like I plan on going to this. This is not necessarily something I'm planning on going to, but they are trying to do something for the community. And these are the things that we need. We need organizations like this, a church, that's gonna open their doors and feed the homeless, feed the hungry. You don't even got to be homeless. Just feed the hungry, and it not be a thing that people speak negatively about. It's something that people just saying, okay, they got jobs, but so what? Why can't they come down and get a little bit of relief? Why can't they come get a, they got good jobs, they make good money, but we're not trying to stop you from coming. Bring your family. This is the type of energy that we need to start having for community. That energy. It's not about you're poor. It's about we want to have places where we can get together and have community together, be social with one another before an issue transpires, before something happens that now causes for there to be angst or depravity between fellow neighbors. So I hope God uh, blesses me with the mission or the purpose of helping others, um, and allows for me the tools to be able to do such a thing, and the temerity to stick to it. So with that being said, um, I think it's important, and this is another reason why whenever somebody speaks about job growth, whenever anybody speaks about job growth, I'm saying it's not as much about the job growth as much as it is where. Okay, so this is the best way I could put it. In the Bronx, they have a lot of new homes that they're building everywhere, new houses everywhere, right? So we're gonna have a whole bunch of projects, a lot of houses, a lot of homes, a lot of housing in the Bronx, right? Boom. But the problem is, there's not enough jobs in the Bronx. Yes, the Bronx is one of the biggest markets on the planet. For everybody that don't know, the Hunts Point's market, the Hunts Point, where the ships come in. But you know, there's not enough jobs in the Bronx. So that means most of the people that are going to be living in these apartments, they're not going to be physically able to go work a job physically in the Bronx. So that means that we as a society has to understand that uh, we need more community. We need communities to be tighter because we're living in tighter spaces. Just I need for you to understand, if there's no jobs in the Bronx, or should I say, if there's not that many, and what I mean by no jobs, and what I mean by no jobs, just so we could be clear, is the majority of the people. You don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna kick you. The majority of the people that work in the Bronx, that live in the Bronx, work in another borough, right? So we need community relations. We need community affairs. Most of the people that live in the Bronx come from other places. I'm speaking about the Bronx specifically because there's a shitload of housing going up in the Bronx. There's a lot of housing going up everywhere. There's a shitload of housing going up in the Bronx. And I'm not trying to get on the migrants, but who do you think they're sending? And there's no actual jobs in the Bronx. I mean, we have to pay attention to when shit is about to go left. We have to pay attention to when we need to start getting together because shit is about to go left. So yeah, I want to work in the community. I live in this community right here. I want to work in this community that I live in. I want to try to help beautify the place. I mean, I have, whether I have ideas or not that anybody would appreciate, it wouldn't hurt letting a couple of people hear them that can make things happen. We have a real situation going on. You know how many people work online? I need for you to understand how many people work online. Like I work online. Imagine somebody saying, imagine somebody work online, right? I want to explain something to you. I work online. I know people are trying to tell you that I shouldn't be allowed to work online. Not people shouldn't be allowed to work online. Just me, right? Just me, not people. Just me. I'm the only human being that's not allowed to work online. Apparently, um, apparently, if you support my channel, that means that I'm begging. If you watch a video, that means I'm begging. If you do a donation, that means I'm begging. If I get paid in any way, shape, or form that doesn't involve me going out and doing hard labor, that means that I'm begging. So I say all that to say this. I say that to say this. I'm not gonna be here forever. I would like, before I'm not here, to do something, at least one thing that means something. That's been something that's been on my heart heavy for about maybe the past 3 or 4 years of my life. I'm not gonna be here forever. And I would like to do something worth doing that somebody else could benefit from. I mean, I just at this, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I would like to. No, I'm no. I literally have people saying that as I'm talking, and I've been kicking them the whole show. Y'all just can't see their comments. I'll leave you a comment for the time being. I'm pretty sure you're probably going to say something crazy, and then I'm going to kick you because the only people that talk generally is the people I got to kick. Anyway, I hope to one day do so. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. And I think my mission with God is to be fine with that. So I think I'm kind of like more fine with that now. Like before, I was like dead set on doing something great to like help others, so I could just not feel worthless. But I think I'm over that. To be honest with you, I think I'm fine. Like I think I come to the understanding that most likely I'm gonna pass away and never do anything worth doing. Like, I'm pretty okay with that now. There was a time that I wasn't though, but I'm pretty okay with it. In any regard. I'm about to go. Anything y'all want to talk about before I get off this chat? I want to get to some court cases, but there's literally a reason why I can't. As soon as I can do court cases again, I will. That's all I could say. there's anything y'all want to talk about, just give it to me. I'll talk about it right now, and then get out of here. I'm gonna hold you. If I could get if I could I would, fam. If I could I would. I don't know no way to say it. I know zero other ways to say it. If I could I would, but I can't. And there's other things that I need to get to also. But if I could I would. That's that's literally all like that's what I watch, man. That's my interest. Law is literally my interest. One of my biggest interests is law. I don't know no way to explain this to you. It's one of my biggest interests. Obviously, I don't know everything about anything, but it's one of my biggest interests. It's law in general, and it's always been, by the way. Mm. I just thought about something. Don't the Jetsons ships look like? Don't the Jetsons cars look like fish bowls? K.O. Smitty, I don't want to say too much because by me explaining the situation, it could only be an embarrassment to me. But if I can get to the, it don't matter. I'm just gonna keep saying that, and then all you're gonna keep saying is you should do the thing that I'm telling you that if I could do, I would. But you're just gonna keep saying I should just do it. But while I'm saying if I could, I would. But you're gonna keep saying you should just do it, and then I'm saying if I could, I would. So this is what I mean by if I could, I would, but you can keep telling me I should do it. All right, copy. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. Um, appreciate you coming to the page, and I appreciate your comments. I just guess there's just no way for me to say a thing that's gonna be acceptable for you. So it's okay. It's my fault. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna try to do. I was gonna try to do a Tonight Show last night. I just didn't. I'll try to do one tonight, but by the time the night come, I don't really do want to deal with the bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just don't want to deal with it. It's just I don't want to deal with it. So depending on, I doubt. I don't. I'm not. I don't. I don't want to say I'm gonna do a Tonight Show, and I know damn well right now at this moment I don't want to be bothered. I just. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I don't think anything good can happen. So whenever I don't think anything good can happen, I just don't do. I just don't do it. So maybe we do it. Maybe I just don't think anything good can happen. Like I don't think anything good can happen from the morning show either. But I don't got no choice. I got to do one of them. um, it's like just make your problems go away. There's only one way. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bones. Let's get it. Love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. That's all that counts. Come on.